Okay, so I know we're going out of order, but that's because lesson 10-2 is really easy to do with the video, and lesson 10-1 is a bit more complicated. So it's okay. Don't worry. We're not skipping lesson 10-1. We're going to come back and get it. So how do you write an equation? How do you write a quadratic function given 3 points? Let's first of all, it says right here in the learning targets that we've got to be able to explain why we need 3 points. So in order to explain that, we're going to do this first activity. This is a review, it says right here, of what we did back in lesson 7-3. They're going to give us 2 solutions, and they want us to write the quadratic equation. So to review what we did back in lesson 7-3, remember, if these 2 are the solutions, then we just solve this problem kind of backwards. This is the solution. What was it before it was a solution? It was a factor equal to 0. So we're going to set this back equal to 0 by subtracting -2 from both sides. This will give me x minus 2 is equal to 0. We're going to do the same thing right here. We're going to take this solution, we're going to make it be equal to 0. Why? Because that's what it was before it was equal to 5. Subtract 5 from both sides. And this becomes x minus 5 equals 0. So this is using the zero product property. So that means that if we multiply these 2 things together, and the answer is 0, then that means if we multiply these 2 if we multiply the factored form, we get the standard form. So double distribution, x squared minus 5x minus 2x plus 10. Combine like terms, minus 7x plus 10. Now it says, back in the Springboard book lesson, it says graph this. So I went to Desmos and I graphed it. And this is what it looks like. So why are knowing just 2 points that this graph passes through not enough? Let me show you. This is the equation that we just graphed, x squared minus 7x plus 10. But look what happens if I graph those 2 graphs. What do all of these have in common? They all have that point right there, 2, 0 in common, and 5, 0. All 3 of these parabolas pass through the point 2, 0 and 5, 0. When we did our mathematics, we only came up with this one equation right here. But all we had to do was multiply this one equation by 2. We would get this one, and then we would get the red function. Or all we had to do is multiply this equation by -1. And then we would get the lighter blue equation. Take this equation, multiply it by 3. We would get a different equation, but it would still pass through the points 2, 0 and 5, 0. That is why knowing just 2 points that a parabola passes through is not enough. In order to find an equation of a particular quadratic, we have to know at least 3 points on that quadratic. And that's what I'm going to show you how to do next.